Good morning, precious. What? How you doing, baby? Happy Thursday. And today on Coffee and Conversation with your girl, Shakenya. I'm telling you, when I get my real show, my talk show that's going to come on every morning and talk to you about different issues that we might be suffering with and having the professionals come on and back me up, I'm going to have an announcer. And that's going to be their only job, right? So, y'all, we are getting ready to go to that YouTube channel, Shakenya, and hit subscribe. Look at some of the videos, and if you see anything, any other videos that catch your attention, please hit share. Okay, that's simple. I think that's simple. This is another aspect of the house, y'all. Another side of the house. I'm on the side. It's my little chill, low-key chill spot that I'm working on back here. I got flowers aligned all along the side. Had a nice big gate, but I took it and put it back there. But I'm gonna put some more. But yeah, it's another little chill spot. This is just my little. I'm trying to create my own peace. So my house is my piece, and I tell you, every section of that house is being touched. Every section. So I'm on the side on the other house with it this morning. I got the baby, so I can't go too far. And then I got stuff to do around here. You know, my house be the last house that get worked on. So I made a conscious decision to take one day out the week and just work on unfinished projects that I have going on here. Yep, so I'm about to cut my grass front and back, and then I'm going to work on my back area some more. I got a lot of debris I got to get from back there to bring it up. I'm trying to make use of my whole yard. But y'all ain't come on to hear about me, did y'all? Hey, Shan, man. Y'all ain't come on to hear about me and my problems. So, y'all, we still talking about relationships, responsibilities as a parent, reputations, representation, roles, and respect, right? We pulled our boards out. We looking at our suspects, our people that's guilty by association. We looking at who planting seeds. We even figuring out some of the manipulation tips that's been being used on your baby, right? We looking at the manipulation tips that's been used since your 9th grade year. And now we 4 years in, we're looking at the adverse effect and the psychological damage that it might has had on your children, on your family. Like with my family, like I said, it destroyed us. Yep, and it was just the manner of how everything was done when it came to my youngest, right? So as a result of that, shit, my children have been exposed to everything that I have been trying to shelter them from. Imagine that. Imagine going through so much work to make sure your child don't know about this, or make sure your child knows about that, and make sure your child doing this and make sure they not doing it. You go through all that, and just because someone on the other side in your circle is working against you, you end up exposing your children to the very things that you were trying to shelter them from. Like, that's a nightmare for most parents. You know what I'm saying? That's like you trying to keep your kids from going to jail or something. Now they in there. You trying to keep your kid off the pole or something. Now they own it. You trying to keep them from smoking and drinking and getting caught up in drugs and self-medicating, and that's what they do. You know what I'm saying? That's a nightmare for any parent that's a parent. You know what I mean? Meaning that you're not allowing your children to grow up. You actually take the time out to spend with them, to raise them, to make sure that they have everything that they need. Like, I would teach my kids something, and then I would come back and see if they learned it, and if they didn't, I'll teach them again. And I keep teaching them until they walk away knowing that they're confident in doing whatever it is. When I'm showing them how to use a tool, when I'm showing them how to do drywall, when I'm showing them how to do anything, you take your time with those kids, and you want to make sure they digest everything that you got to give. You got to make sure of that. You got to do check-ins. You got to talk to them. You got to talk to them. I had a plan A. Give me a minute, because I got them babies. They doing too much talking and not doing enough eating of Frosted Flakes. Yeah, I'm sorry for the brief intermission. Hopefully y'all had a chance to go get some popcorn. Yeah, I gotta hurry up, y'all. I don't like leaving the babies too long. Like, I had a plan A before all this happened to me. You know, I don't know how it has affected you with a parent removing a child, or your child don't want to deal with you, or you don't have a relationship with your baby. I don't know how it has affected you. Because when I talk to my parents who has gone through this, it affects everybody differently. Yep. You would be surprised how many parents just move on and not really care if their child come back into their life or not, right? They pretty much, hey, Doreen, auntie, how you doing? They leave it up to the child. If the child wants to get to know me, they'll find me. They got that attitude and they standing on that. You know what I'm saying? Then you got certain parents who just can't live without their babies. You know, they done went through so many different disorders. They suffering from depression. They can't live no more. You know, everything was vested on that child, and now that the child not in their life no more, they don't know what to do. You know, so it varies. But either way it go, it's devastating. No matter how you look at it, it's terrible. No matter how you see it, it's traumatic, right? So I had a plan A, a solid plan for me and my kids on how we was going to get out the hood and become millionaires. Period. Period. It was a plan for me and my children to get out the hood and become millionaires, right? So the plan was solid, and all I needed was my children to make it happen, right? My kids, everybody had a role to play in everything that I was doing. Everybody had a position in everything that I was doing in my plan A, right? We worked well together, me and my children, right? So any plan, anything that I set out to do, my kids was right there, Johnny on the spot. Because I know if I ain't got nobody else, I got my children. That was my team. My children were my team. And you got to understand that, right? They were a part of everything that I had going on. You have to understand that, right? So plan B that I'm on right now, my plan B, because plan A didn't work out as a result of the way the child was removed from our family, it's like building a plane in the sky. Yeah. Like, all the aspects of everything that I was doing is still there, but how to get there is different now, right? So it's like I'm taking a scenic route now, right? Like, I don't know what's ahead. Like I'm going in the right direction, but I don't know what's in front of me right now in my plan B, right? Like, in my plan A, I had paved roads because it was me and my children. It was working. It was a working system. Everything was going according to plan. It was not a doubt in my mind that anything would stop us from getting out the hood and becoming millionaires, right? Paved roads. We had street lights. We had stop signs. Traffic was regulated. You know what I mean? This plan B that I had to create, it's like I'm in the woods. It's like all I see is hills and valleys and mountains, right? It's nothing paved, no lights. So I can't travel at night. Yeah, plan A, it was street lights. It was lit up. I could go if I could do what I want to do. Or this plan B, I can't move at night because I can't see. Hey, Brother Joe, how you doing? Yeah, there's no paved roads. It's nothing but mountains and hills, and I got to climb every last one of them now. And make it so bad I don't have a team. I don't have a team. So therefore, I'm doing everything solo. I'm so nobody to watch my back if I roll down that mountain, if I miss my step. You know what I'm saying? The journey is so much harder now. But I still got to go. Why? Because that's my purpose. It's what I'm supposed to do. Everything that I'm doing now is what I'm supposed to do. Everything that I'm doing now, I was doing then. The only thing different from now and then is the radio show. And when I say then is when I was married. Then is when all my children was whole in my life together. I was doing everything. Coffee and Conversation I wasn't doing. And I wasn't doing the radio show at first. Yep, that came after. But the program, yep, it was everything. Yeah, the painting, the drywall, the cleaning company. Yep, so, yeah, that road is much harder now for me. Yep, plan A, I could see where me and my kids were going. Yep, I knew exactly where we were going. I had a map. We was in that direction. We had a working system. Everybody was moving how they were supposed to move. Everybody was progressing how they were supposed to progress. And everything was good. Nothing changed. Fix it, Jesus. Fix it, Jesus. Fix it, Jesus. Yeah, we had a nice little road. Plan B, don't nobody want to go on Plan B. Plan B too hard. That road too hard to travel. So it's hard to convince people now to get on board with Plan B, right? So it's a solo mission now, right? But Plan A, it wasn't hard to convince. No, everybody was on board. Everybody was good. Everybody knew what was going on. Everybody knew what was going to happen and what was to become at the end of the day, right? Everybody knew because it was written down in the plan. Fix it, Jesus. Fix it, Jesus. So the system was working at home. Yep. All my children got along well. Yep. Everybody was we was happy. We wasn't suffering from no disorders. Yep. Anything that they were going through, they got through it together. We got through it as a family. You know, so it's not to say that we still wouldn't have went through some of the things that we're going through now. The only difference is before this happened, we all would have got through it together as a unit, as a family, as each other's support. You understand? So it was a difference. So that was working. The business was working. We was working together. Yep, everybody was working together. Every project that I had going on, the children were a part of. So the cleaning company, they had buildings. We would clean together. We leave together. We come home together. Yep. Any paint job we did, we worked together. We did it together. Yep. The baby wasn't involved in the paint, but the other kids were. My other daughter and my other son. Yeah, because there's other children involved. That's why I tell you, when you break up with somebody, don't neglect the other children. Yeah, just because y'all broke up, you still should be a part of that child's life if they're not yours. Yeah, I know. You like, that ain't your baby. I know that ain't your baby, but you've been a part of that baby's life ever since that baby been here. You helped raise that child. That child's dad wasn't there or that child's mother wasn't there. You were in the place there, so you helped raise this child. I will hope that after the breakup, y'all still have some type of friendship. You're still a mentor or considered to be a mentor for this child. You're still a part of this child's growth and development. I will hope that you wouldn't just cut the cord just because you're not with that baby mama or baby daddy no more. Or that person no more, right? I know it's a lot to ask, but it needs to be done. It needs to be done. Yep, it needs to be done. So, yeah, it was a working system. The program, the girls were mentors in my youth program where I deal with children with behavior issues. You have attitude adjustment. You can Google it. You can look it up. Yeah, we've been on the news, Channel 2, Channel 4. We just did an interview with Amir Mekison right before COVID. So it's a program. The children, my girls were mentors. Yep. And even from the conception of the program, my children were a part. They will volunteer anytime we have an event. They've been a part of it since the ground, since day one, right? So just the fact that my children not being close, I raised them to be close. You know, I raised them to take care of each other. I raised them to be each other's crutch and emotional support if needed. You know, I look at my children like a chair. Have 4 legs, right? Now, you remove one of those legs, that chair is going to be useless unless you find something to fix it and replace that leg that's missing, right? But how can you replace that? Chances are it's going to be wobbly. It ain't going to fit right. It ain't going to be the same. It's going to be off a smidgen. It just, you know, so you got to make do, though, right? You got to make do. But why? Why must my house and my home or your home be broken just for the other parent's home to be whole? That child is a fixture in both of y'all households, right? Like I said, for the first 15 and a half years after the divorce, it was a smooth system, dropping her off, picking her up, having her on the weekends. It was just like how my life was when I was growing up. I visited my dad on the weekends. I was with my mom during the week and went to school from my mom's house. Her life mirrored mine. So that's why I understood her when she felt like she was being pulled apart from going to one house. I was able to talk to her, but that talk that I give her to make her feel comfortable about going from one house to the next, the other parent has to give the same conversation or the same talk to make that child feel comfortable. You can't make the child feel like they're going to be more comfortable if they're only in one home, because if you do that, that means you got to cut a home out. Like my home was cut out completely. The baby don't come over, don't see me, don't call, don't connect with the other. Cut completely. Now, when you remove a child from a parent's life, you got to have reason for doing so, right? That's where CPS come in at. That's where if you have any type of concerns with the parent and you're not getting through, sometimes CPS needs to get involved. And maybe they need to give the parent the extra help and resources that they probably need that you probably ain't going to give them or couldn't give them or they probably couldn't find on their own in order for the child to be safe, right? But it's never put in place to separate a child from a parent and keep them out their life completely. It's always some way to make it to where that parent is back and reconnected with that child. So for a parent to remove a child from you, your child, turn your child against you and keep your child from you, baby, what is, that's all personal. If there's no abuse or neglect, it's all personal. So you mean to tell me a organization like CPS can take your child away for the safety of that child, find a way, provide resources to make sure you can reconnect with that child, but that baby mama or that baby daddy won't even do that, ain't gonna do that, feel like the child is better off without you? You got to make all that make sense. Because if not, it affects your child when they get older and become adults. And they can't figure life out. And they're running into roadblocks everywhere they go. And they can't understand why. It's because they have so much trauma from their childhood, from being separated from their parent, to where now it's coming out into their adult life. And now they can't function fully. Now they need therapy. You don't understand? So, yep, the fact that my children not being close, the fact that I raised them to be that way, and the fact that, you know, that bond was there and it was severed purposely by an adult. You would think an adult would know better. You would think that. But you got to keep in mind how your baby mama and your baby daddy was raised. Because I'm quite sure they're probably suffering from the same trauma that they putting your child through. Right? Just like mine's. Mine's didn't have a good, from what he say, a good family support system and upbringing. It was just him and his mama and sibling, right? For me, it's different. I had mama, even though she was doing what she was doing, but I had aunties that stepped up. I had a daddy. I had grandparents. I had great-grandparents. I had cousins. I had aunties, adopted aunties like Doreen that just popped up. So it was always, so I don't know what that means to not have family and not have a good, I don't know what that means. I don't know what that looks like. But you got people that you get with that do. Right? And that's right there is an imbalance that you guys have. That's when you got to figure out what you going to teach your kids. Because you got one parent that's probably teaching your child family. And you got one parent that's teaching your child for family. It's all about family. Right? So that's a conversation that needs to be had. We're going to get back to that. But today I want to know if you have balance. Yeah. If you have balance, we talk about having balance as it relates to co-parenting. But do you have balance in your life? Like, do you have, are you spending quality time with your family? Does work impede that? Do you work so hard to where you're missing out on events and stuff? You're not making special occasions. You're not spending quality time with your children. Or is it a situation where you spend so much time at work to where you only got a little time with family, to where you don't have no time for yourself? Like, do you have a good balance to where you able to spend time with your children, give the work what they ask for and what they need, and also have time for yourself? Because self-care is important. You have to find balance, and you have to find time for yourself. And you also have to find time for the new relationship that your baby mama and your baby daddy create. The new relationship that y'all have after y'all break up. You got to find time for that. Meaning that if they ever call you, even if you in a relationship, you might have to answer. Yeah, if they need to see you about something that when it concerns the baby, you might have to meet up with them and see them. Right? Maybe y'all have to talk on the phone a little bit more. Yeah, y'all got to see each other a little bit more when it comes to the events and the different things that's going on with the baby. Yep, but you got to make time for that. So that's a new relationship that you got to make time for. That got to be in that balance that you have, because it's very important. Y'all need to be best friends after the breakup. Yep. So y'all, that's it for Coffee and Conversations. Your girl, Shakenya. I think that's it. Yep. Okay, I'm out. I had to get back into them babies. Have a good day.